What is that?
Reports now coming from all along the East Coast.
There's multiple drones all over this airport tonight, man.
Radioactive material that was temporarily lost in transit.
I think we have finally cracked the story.
They're looking for something.
There was a formation of 6 drones.
We had something coming at us, and as it's coming at us, it stops, it does like a 180 in the air and then drives away.
What is up, fam? Hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to My Life Movie. In case you missed a couple of my previous videos, me and Mo were out here in New Jersey kind of exploring this whole UAP, aka drone situation and phenomenon, and we're on the ground just kind of exploring and seeing what's going on. We have caught a couple of things with our bare eyes. Does that mean with our bare eyes? With our eyes. Just last night as we were filming, and we didn't really catch a whole lot last night because it started snowing out of nowhere. One of the answers that we probably could have done without, I think the best case scenario was that this was from another world or maybe even another country, and maybe they were just exploring our area. The information that we just found out last night is terrifying. And in fact, I'm not wasting any time. We're getting the hell out of here, believe it or not, because we're scared that something bad's gonna happen, and I'm gonna explain a little bit more. Okay, so before I play what I'm about to play, I do have to give you a little bit of insight. What I just, that little intro with Mo was actually filmed 2 days ago because I had like a 2-day drive to get back here to Florida. Of course, I'm not able to edit while I'm driving, and I drove a lot. I did my very best to edit this video as fast as I possibly could. There's always new information pouring in, and when we had gotten this information, it was kind of new to the internet, so I wasn't able to upload it in time. I am going to still play the clip. However, there is more that I want to add to it. I'm not here to spread any false information or false narratives. I know as much as some of you know, and I'm doing my best to keep an eye out on social media or even in the skies as to what the hell is going on. And so far, I think we're one step closer. Let's watch the clip.
Hey everyone, my name is John Ferguson. I'm the CEO of Saxon Aerospace here in Wichita, Kansas. I'm not normally a TikTok kind of a guy. I like watching this stuff every once in a while. But I'm a manufacturer of unmanned aircraft, military grade unmanned aircraft, as you can see one of my systems here.
Hey, so you know what? I'm going to pause this for a second. That drone, I don't know if it was a drone, but that plane that Mo and I saw hovering above us a couple days ago when we were looking for remnants at the crash site, and we did get some remnants, looked very similar to that particular drone that he just showed, or unmanned aircraft. Not all drones are quadcopters. All right, this thing was flying very, very low. It was very large. And of course, it flew past us so quick, I wasn't able to film it.
All of these mysterious drones going on off the East Coast. And as a professional, as a subject matter expert, I wanted to give you all my opinion on what I think could be going on with these drones. I don't particularly believe that these have a nefarious intent. I could be wrong. But I want to give you the truth.
Hear that word
and
a lot.
what I believe. It's my own opinion, and I've not bounced this off of anybody. So, if you think it's bullshit, whatever, that's cool. I don't want to spread misinformation, as we know that there's a lot of that going around. But anyway, back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay, we don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody
I've never
really
heard
knows
of this
where these are. And
ever.
I speak with some pretty high-level government
nuclear
officials
warheads
on
missing?
this stuff, and it seems as though that is the case. So I spoke to a gentleman a few months ago who was trying to raise an alarm to the highest levels of our government, which they had their ears closed, about this one particular nuclear warhead that he physically put his hands on. He physically touched this warhead that was left over from Ukraine. And he knew that that thing was headed towards the United States. It's out there. Nobody knows where it's at now. It left Europe. Now it's gone. So my guess, my own guess, is that these drones are not nefarious in intent. If
What's
they
that
are,
word
they
again?
are. But I doubt it.
Nefarious.
But if they are drones, the only reason why they would be flying and flying that low is because they're trying to smell something on the ground. That's it. There's no other reason for a drone to be flying in the air other than to piss a bunch of people off at night.
Okay, so I'm not going to play that entire clip. If you want to watch the entire thing, John Ferguson is his name. There's some people out in the internet world, like when I first saw this clip, my first reaction was to get the hell out of Jersey. I was going to stay a little bit longer in Jersey. I had an Airbnb booked for several days, and I left early because I'm here thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm somewhere far from home, and I'm putting myself at risk hardcore. I mean, anytime we make videos, we're putting ourselves at risk. I hope y'all know that, all right? And nuclear weapons, I'm sorry, they scare me. They should scare you too. So this is Cole Dotson, Pine Island Media, and I had a friend that sent me to this. Big shout out to Two Claws. And before I even seen this clip, I saw what the government put out on the nuclear website, the NRC, I believe. And they were talking about some nuclear radioactive materials that went missing at the New Jersey port. Now, this is on a government website. Let's listen in.
I think we have finally cracked the story on the drones flying over New Jersey. According to intel dropping to us here at Pine Island HD and all over X, take a look at this. This is from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Apparently, what is going on is that a container was supposed to drop off some radioactive material at Port Newark, and what happened was a container showed up damaged and empty, and this material event contains a less than category 3 level of radioactive material.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly? All right, let's ask ChatGPT what level 3 radioactive material even means. 3 radioactive material, I spelled that wrong. Material, a hazard. Let's see what it says. Definition level 3 doesn't refer to a universal standard across all regulations. It may pertain to a classification system specific to an agency. All right, I want to dig a little bit deeper on this. Could it pose a threat to a city, aka New Jersey? Let's see what it says here. Yes, level 3 radioactive material could pose a threat to a city under certain conditions, although its potential impact depends on the type, quantity, and form of the material. Let's skip here. If level 3 is used in a dirty bomb, it could spread radioactive contamination over a city. I believe there was some footage of a drone dropping or spraying something in the skies. Could that be radioactive material that they're spraying? Like I said, I'm not here to spread any false information, but I'm approaching everything with an open mind because we still don't know what's going on. Nobody does.
Live right now. And apparently what's going on with the drones is that this is apparently a U.S. military operation.
Wouldn't doubt
where
it.
they are currently trying to find this radioactive container that could be somewhere over northern New Jersey, southern New York. And they don't want you to panic and go in a frenzy when you find out that we have a potential nuke sitting on our doorstep. Unbelievable. This is just insane.
So I don't know if that's what these drones are being used for. I mean, it could be, but if this was a small amount of radioactive material, more than likely they took care of it. And in this news clipping, they confirmed that. Let's listen in.
News reports linking drone sightings to a small amount of medical-grade radioactive material that was temporarily lost in transit. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection issuing a statement to ABC News saying the source has been located, repackaged, and sent to the manufacturer. And the National Nuclear Security Administration saying it does not employ drones for nuclear radiological detection missions.
That's a little conflicting, though. Maybe this is a cover-up, like maybe it's a distraction, a psyop, if you will, because just today Congress tried to pass a bill. They just kind of threw it out there, and it was 1,500 pages long. This bill that was giving these Congress people raises. Okay, and not only that, it was just like all this unnecessary spending that was going to cost us Americans more money and put more money into their pockets, all because of inflation. Oh, yeah, we want raises because of inflation. Where's my raise at? We ain't spending any more money. So I don't know how true this is that they found this medical grade nuclear radioactive. I mean, because we have this mayor that goes live on this news show and he's like, he's saying something different. Let's listen in.
We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern. In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty. So
okay,
potentially
wait,
we're looking
stop
for
right
that.
there, Mayor, because that's very important information. And that came from a credible source.
That came from the U.S. government.
And so it's missing?
Missing.
And they think it's in New Jersey or it could be anywhere?
It was lost in New Jersey in transit. And again, this is just an example of what I think that we're sniffing for. I think we do have the assets that can go up and fly around and sniff things, which is why we're not seeing the uptick we used to see in Belleville anymore. It's kind of moving, but we're seeing alerts that it's happening now in Pennsylvania.
And that's right about the time that the drone sightings began, right?
Yeah, drone sightings began about 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so when you take a look at this, if this information is indeed credible, why wouldn't the government say, it's us?
That's the crazy part about this. We've gotten very little information. Even yesterday on that call with the White House, literally mayors were told, you guys are seeing things. There's no credibility to this. We have one mayor, like I said, had drones over his house. I mean, we're no longer going to stand for not hearing the truth. I mean, our state government is failing us. They're not getting the answers from the federal government. And even though yesterday they told us that there's nothing to see here, today there's a top secret briefing going on in Congress. Well, what are they being told that we weren't told yesterday?
And you know what? He makes a very valid point. If they're telling us that these are just airplanes that we're seeing, these are just hobby drones that we're seeing, why? Why are they making such a big deal and having a top secret briefing on these drones? Because there's more to the story.
A call about this missing radioactive activity or merchandise, or did you know that this morning after the call?
I was made aware of it yesterday morning. I did raise my hand. We weren't allowed to speak. I did raise my hand, was not called on to get that question answered.
So apparently it is concerning. Even the president-elect, who I'm sure gets some kind of briefings on things, he says he's not going to his home in Bedminster, right?
Yeah, I listened to him yesterday. He no doubt gets the same exact briefings that President Biden gets. He says our government knows. He says our president knows. And he also ended with saying, I'm not going to be in New Jersey this weekend.
And that's true. President-elect Donald Trump canceled his plans to New Jersey because of this.
I want them to be clear with us. I want transparency. I want them to say these are our assets. The question should no longer be who's flying these drones or who owns them. It should be what they're looking for. Tell us they're ours. Tell us that they're protecting us, and tell us what the threat is.
Okay, we're coming up on the holidays. Is everybody going to be safe?
I hope so.
I hope so.
What do you want people to do if they see them?
That's a great question. So we've been told that pilots out of Newark Airport are getting hit with lasers. You cannot take the law in your own hands.
And that is one thing that some people are doing. They're pointing lasers at what they think are drones, and they're not drones. They're actual commercial pilots, helicopters flying in the air. That's why I tell people, download the Flight Tracker app and you can see everything going on in the skies. You could confirm if you see something above you, and it's just like me and Mo. We were driving and we saw one of these unmanned aircraft. I don't know if it was unmanned, but it was an aircraft flying over us at a very low altitude, fast, really fast. And it was not on the Flight Tracker app. 100% one of these UAPs that we keep hearing about. And these things are being seen all over now, and that's kind of new. This is a Texas police chief, and he had this to say.
Last night, our first call came in around 8:14. The complainant said there was a formation of 6 drones.
This was a couple days ago.
That were in close proximity, low altitude, that looked like they were coming from the military area and were flying towards Loop 820, the highway.
So were they military drones? Who knows? I know that my friend Al also got some footage of drones outside of his house late last night.
There's literally a drone right over my head.
So you could see the difference between regular aircraft and
that is a drone.
These drones, they're literally just hovering.
There's drones all over my house right now. They're next to each other.
Well, that one's moving kind of fast.
Bro, those are
right
drones. I got them on camera right over my house.
This is Central Florida.
Heck?
So just today, President Biden was asked about the drones, and this is what he had to say.
Overnight, a member of the House Intelligence Committee told CNN that based on the briefing that he'd received, the drones that people say they've been seeing over New Jersey are not anything nefarious and not part of any U.S. government operation. Overnight, President Biden weighed in for the first time.
Nothing nefarious, apparently.
Nothing nefarious.
Checking it all
Bro,
out.
the first time I have ever heard the word nefarious was from a movie called Nefarious. It's the first time ever I heard that word in my 40 years of being on this earth. I'm sorry. It's so much easier to just say threat. Isn't that what nefarious means? Let's look it up. What does nefarious mean? Okay. According to ChatGPT, nefarious means wicked, evil, or morally wrong. It's used to describe actions, intentions, or individuals that are particularly bad or villainous. For example, the villain had a nefarious plan to take over the city. I would say it still kind of means like a threat. You know what I mean? But yeah, it means wicked, evil. But what's up with the government using the word nefarious? And you know what? Let's rewind a little bit. So this guy, John Ferguson, who makes unmanned aircrafts for the military, he's the CEO of Saxon Aerospace. He kind of threw that word out there too. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe because that's what we're so used to hearing nowadays. Remember a couple days ago when Mo and I went to the crash site in Hillsborough, New Jersey? Well, just the day before, Hazmat was there. And why is Hazmat showing up to somewhere where nothing happened? Because that's what they said. And there was no drone recovered. Under the level 3 radioactive material threat that I asked ChatGPT, hazmat teams, trained in radiological incidents can quickly respond to contain and decontaminate areas. Now, why would hazmat be there to decontaminate a possible wreckage of a drone? Unless, of course, these drones are themselves carrying radioactive material. Wink, wink, spraying stuff into the skies. It's just a theory. But, we have to connect the dots. Now, in this video where I am leaving town, I'm leaving New Jersey, and I want you to watch along. I'm coasting along the interstate, and it's going to blow your mind. Let's go. So this is the area that I spent the last couple of days. It's called Kingsburg, New Jersey. Now, the reason why I picked this area is because when I was doing research on where a lot of these UAPs have been seen, this was kind of like a hot spot. It was right by the ocean. People been reporting these things like returning back to the ocean. This area to the right of me right here is one of the beaches that I was doing some exploring into the skies, and all the other locations were probably within an hour's drive from this central area right here. Yo, that looks crazy cool. The Sus River. We're on the Sus River right now. Bro, look at that. That looks like a horror movie. Honestly, this video is somewhat of a horror movie. Susquehanna State Park. All right, fam, I am driving through Maryland right now, and I want to say the 3 states that I drove through right now, like I was in Jersey, I was in Pennsylvania, actually 4 states, Delaware. Every one of those states have had these signs. These signs, they might have some information about traffic, maybe fog in the area. I've seen about 3 of these signs in different states saying something about hazmat. Like the last one that I saw, by the time I saw it, I wasn't able to grab my camera and show it, but it said hazmat not allowed in tunnel. and this was like on the way through a tunnel. Hazmat stands for hazardous materials. For my kind of videos, I am on the road all the time. I have never, ever, I've driven all the way to California from Florida and back again. Let me know if I have any truck drivers in the comments here. Have you ever seen one of those signs, at least 3 of them within an hour, saying something about hazmat? Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I have never seen any of those traffic signs about hazmat. My take on this is hazmat is traveling right now all over the country looking for these nuclear weapons or cleaning up whatever mess they've caused. Let me know what you think.
A mile. Keep left to stay on I-495
Look at this.
South,
Look at
I-95
this.
South.
More of a permanent traffic sign, and it was talking about hazmat, you know, keep to the right. I've never seen those signs before. Maybe they just put them to make them look like regular traffic signs for hazmat, but I don't know. Let me know here.
Poor little Luna. Hi, baby girl. She misses her sister.
All right, fam, I just have one question for you. You want to get naked with me? Naked? Drinks are pretty good. It's filled with sugar, though. All right, I know some of y'all are going to hate on me for having an electric vehicle. It's okay. I hate on y'all. Gas, nah, I'm kidding. I got gas vehicles too, okay? But I do have this really cool EV pickup truck. I've had EVs before. I'm just in love with them. Not for road trips, though. This looks just like a gas pump. And it's for only electric vehicles. GM Energy. But yeah, I love my pickup truck. Got you little toys for you. Yeah, it's for you. Okay, don't rip it. No, you're already ripping it apart. All right, so I'm in North Carolina now. Have not seen any of those hazmat signs. I think Virginia is the last state that I saw those particular signs. Still got a long way to go. It's been fun. It's been exciting. Ah, no, Luna. This is your baby. You're gonna rip your babies apart? No, this is a toy. Oh, don't kill it. Oh, you know, she's such a good dog. Luna's 8 years old, but she's the biggest puppy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're so cute. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I do a lot of crazy, fun videos. If you're an animal lover like me, stick around because I will show you my animals. Luna's not my only animal. She's just, you know, she's my baby. She's one of my first pets that I ever had. But I have an all-out petting zoo at my house. I know some of y'all subscribe for, you know, the whole New Jersey things, which I will be doing a lot of updates on. And if there happens to be some sort of invasion of these drones anywhere else, I'm on it and I will be traveling there. You can play with it, just don't tear it apart. Very intelligent dogs, by the way. If you're looking for a great dog that's good with kids, very smart, easy to train, hypoallergenic, good watchdogs too. Consider a golden doodle, but adopt, don't shop. Daisy, her sister, adopted sister, of course, she has this condition, and I show her a lot on my channel. It's called megaesophagus, and I had no idea about it. Pretty much saved her life. I got her from somebody that they just didn't have the money to figure out what was wrong with her. I took her to the vet the very next day because she was constantly throwing up, and I didn't know why. If you have a dog constantly throwing up, get them checked out, have them x-rayed, because megaesophagus is where the esophagus is so big where food doesn't go down. So they have to have a Bailey chair. I had to actually custom make this chair myself. There's some companies online that can make them for you, but I figured it'd just be so much easier to make one myself. Cost me like 50 bucks in materials, but it's basically like a high chair that Daisy sits in and eats her food. It's so cute. It's not really for being cute. It's for her to be able to digest her food, because the only other option if I don't have that chair is to feed her upright. In other words, I have to put her on my lap and have her stand up and feed her that way. It's the only way food's getting down in her belly and not staying in her esophagus because it's so big. But yeah, I would have brought her along too, but I would have had to bring her Bailey chair, and it was a lot easier just bringing Luna. But maybe I'll bring her on a future trip one day. If I'm going to be maybe in the same place for a long period of time, I'll bring Daisy along. Now, during this time right here that you're seeing me charge my car, I missed my friend Mo's phone call, and he messages me and says, like, it's important, call me ASAP. So Mo and I communicate on WhatsApp. It's kind of like the going thing to communicate on if you're talking to people internationally, and Mo does live in Canada. All right, I tried to call him back. He didn't answer. I thought that there was something wrong. I mean, this is what my message was to him. I just tried calling you back. I didn't even know that you called. My bad, man. I'm here editing while I'm charging. Getting ready to leave right now. I just finished editing my video. I'm trying to get it out before tonight. All right, call me back. So when I called him back, we spoke for about 6 minutes. And in this 6-minute phone call, he is mind blown. He supposedly talked to somebody that worked at a military base. I have no idea what military base. He would not tell me, but it was somebody that supposedly he knew. Now, this particular person works on planes, and he started asking him about the drones. And he recorded the conversation, of course, with the guy's permission. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. It's going to blow your mind because it's something that also makes sense, but is a little bit different.
What you guys are about to hear is from his mouth, and his mouth only, from his personal experiences that occurred and took place and are still taking place at every U.S. military base in North America simultaneously. Listen to this.
They were so coordinated that they did one night that they did all of them at the same time. All within 3 minutes of each other.
All the military bases at the same time?
At the exact same time.
And you were there when it happened?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
We had aircraft outside. So what did they want? We keep them inside, but our aircraft were going to fly over a football game for the opening of a football game.
Yeah.
And they were, we had 6 aircraft that were getting ready to leave to do that, so they left them out overnight. And they spotted them flying over our aircraft and mapping. You can see them. They're not putting off heat signatures, but you can see like laser mapping.
Dude, that's insane.
Going off like 3D mapping.
Yeah.
And they went to our magazines. The magazine where we keep all the ammo for the helicopters.
Yeah.
And then the magazine where we keep all the ammo for the jets. And my base is unique. It has these Southeast Response Team, which there's 4 fighter jets that stay there that are fully armed.
Oh, wow.
That have missiles and machine gun rounds in them, and they're loaded, and they have these heaters that run that keep the engines warm, and electronics that stay on so the aircraft actually stays turned on. And fighters and pilots are there 24/7. They rotate out.
Okay.
And they go out, and so in theory they can get on alert and be off the ground in 3 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I've seen them do it, and they're pretty damn quick.
You've seen them?
They'll get a scramble alert, and they'll run out there and jump in the airplanes, and they're taxiing down the runway, and the canopy hasn't even closed yet.
Wow. Have you seen any of the drones over the base?
Yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen the drones over the base. What do they look like?
Yeah. So there's different types. There's ones that look like kind of like quadcopters, but they have more than 4 blades. It looks like there's 6 to 8 blades on them, and then there's ones that are fixed wing that are over it. But see, the thing is, we have on our base that's designed to defeat drones that are flying under, if they're receiving any kind of signal.
Yeah.
They're designed to defeat them.
So it makes them
land.
It
makes them land, right?
Yeah, it sees the signal that's being broadcast to it, and it duplicates it and takes it over, or it either jams it, which causes it to land. And they defeated them. They defeated our systems.
Man, that's wild.
And you don't believe this is U.S. military stuff?
No, they would have to. There's certain protocols that have to be done when you do that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so basically the Northeast Central Command and NORAD had us come and give a report of what happened because they were not informed of it. And there's no way that anybody would be allowed to do that.
That's crazy.
And I mean, there's a lot of theories going around that it's like it's Space Force and they're trying to prove a point, but to do all those bases coordinated at that time, no, that take a lot of. You're talking about dozens of bases that were overflown within minutes of each other.
How long ago?
I mean, you can't fly.
How long ago did this happen?
That started in October, and it hasn't really stopped.
Wow, so it's like a recurring thing all the time.
It happens on the regular.
So let me ask you this: how come you guys don't shoot them down if you've seen them?
So under FAA law, you're not allowed to shoot down anything, any aircraft over the U.S. without congressional approval.
Why do you think these drones are showing up to the bases?
Collecting information to coordinate a large scale. I believe that collecting information to coordinate a large scale attack.
Damn, that's terrifying.
I believe the players that are going to be involved it's not just one state. I believe it's a conglomerate of countries that are coming together that are being involved in this. Because this thing went to our magazine and flew to each corner of the magazine.
It was like,
and while it was
like analyzing it.
And there's a team from Clemson that came out, like computer engineers and robotic engineers and stuff. They came out and they're trying to figure out what signals they're operating off of, and they're not being fed a signal. So these are pre-programmed. They're running off of AI or something. They're probably taking like Google Earth images and saying, okay, scan this to give me accurate dimensions of where it is. And that way, if they can get a 3D scan, they can look for weak spots.
So let me ask you this: like for the military bases, like when the drones show up there, what if one of you what if you guys got the order to shoot it down? What the heck would you shoot a drone down with?
So there's energy weapons that you have, and then there's conventional weapons that you have. I mean, basically you got shotguns, and you have energy weapons that are designed to send out a pulse of energy that confuses the signals going to it. But if you've got something that's not being sent signals and is flying off of AI, it can be shielded from that. So
my concern is they're gonna use all this. Like I've kind of thought about this is like, what if this is like a deep state operation to kind of like expand regulations to drones and ban the public from using public drones? You know what I mean? Like, because they always try to find any reason to ban the public from using actual drones.
And I feel like this is going to turn into something like that.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's. I mean, people are going to exploit that, but this is too coordinated. It's too big. It's too much stuff going on that doesn't. Because I mean, if you're trying to do that, you would want it to be as loud and out there as possible.
Yeah.
And the stuff they're doing over these bases, nobody knows about. It's every now and then there's a whistleblower and somebody finds out about something, but nobody knows what's going on over these bases. We can't do what we should be doing, is what I'm saying.
Which is shooting them out of the sky.
We should be shooting them down, analyzing them, figuring out exactly where they came from and who's behind it. And they have been flying now for so long over these bases and over these critical infrastructures that, with nothing stopping them, that they're not going to stop.
But there's no way that the military doesn't know where they're landing to get recharged. Like, it's not like they have an unlimited battery. Like, that doesn't exist.
So we followed one, and it flew away from the base longer than we could pursue it. We ran out. Our guys had to land for fuel. So it was flying away from the base. And this for over 400 miles.
And this is a battery-operated drone, not a fuel-operated drone.
Can't tell. It's not putting off a thermal image.
Oh, shit.
Dang. Dude, that's crazy.
All right, I'm not going to play that entire clip. I want you to go over to Mo Sargi's channel and watch the entire interview because there's a lot to it. I don't want to spoil it. In a nutshell, our military bases are being invaded by these drones, and they have the technology to take drones down, but for some reason they can't take these down. He also goes on to tell a story how they followed one of these drones and they ended up running out of gas trying to chase this thing. Now, if you go to Mo Sargi's video and check some of the comments, there's people thinking that this is me that Mo's talking to. And I showed you the screenshot. I only talked to Mo for 6 minutes. I'm pretty sure this conversation with this particular person in the military was longer than 6 minutes because that's the only time that I've talked to Mo. And like I told you earlier in this video, I'm not here to spread any false information. I'm here to get answers just like you're here to get answers. I take this matter very seriously, but hey, people are entitled to their opinions. This is something that I just saw on X. If you want to get some really good information, head over to Twitter, aka X, and I mean, you could put whatever thing that you're searching for, and you can also see what's trending. This New York Walmart has all their lights flashing. This has been happening all over the country. It's also happened at Asheville, North Carolina airport. Is this due to the drones / orbs? Are they testing our infrastructure for some upcoming event? Like, what is going on? That's great. All those lights are flashing. Okay, I did want to talk about this clip that I saw on TikTok, and it's also here on X. Somebody was in Las Vegas filming outside of their hotel room, and they saw what looked like a drone, or I mean, that's definitely some sort of manned aircraft, like some sort of jet, like a fighter jet, something that, I mean, you don't see every day, of course. But of course there's people in the comments saying, oh, this is AI or a CGI. Like, you know, people complain that like we have these busted cameras and we're filming with potatoes, and I mean, it's hard to film at nighttime with any camera, especially something that's far in the skies. But of course you have somebody that gives you some pretty hardcore footage and then it's fake. It's like, come on, man. I mean, I understand, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of stuff that I see, like especially with the AI technology coming out. But when it comes to AI, I've done AI videos, you know, for storytelling and whatnot, and I've never seen AI do a good a job as this right here. I mean, unless it's gotten better in the last month or so. I mean, maybe it has. There's another video that I saw of somebody seeing one of these drones up close. I mean, that looks like one of my Phantom drones that I had. I mean, I don't know. Looks like something in a club, be honest. But this is what I really wanted to show you, okay? Now, in this post, they say Area 51, but this does not look like Area 51. Obviously, it's some sort of government property, and they even show there, like, no drones. Look how fast the response is to this drone flying over in an anti-drone part of town, okay? Goes over the fence. It shows the little picture, you know, no drone zone. Look at that. Instantly. It sounded like a gunshot. I don't know if it was a gunshot or not. But that thing went down in like 2.2 seconds. Yeah, that's not Area 51. There's no way. Boom. Dang. I like what this post says, though. It says, it takes the U.S. military 3 to 4 seconds to shoot down an unauthorized drone flying over Area 51. Not Area 51. Yet all these monster drones have been allowed to fly willy-nilly over New Jersey for over 3 weeks. I think, like I said earlier in the video, I think we're getting close. It could be another country that has figured out a way to go completely unnoticed, or, you know, operate on a frequency that they're pretty invincible in the skies, which that's what we're seeing. And they're fast. They're much faster than what we have. They have more technology than what we have. And then that goes to another theory that a lot of people aren't talking about as well. And I mean, that's kind of like at the bottom of my list. Morning, Luna. This is my bed from last night. A little bit better than sleeping in these guys right here. On my way up, I slept in the driver's chair and I kept having a dream about my butt being numb. Luna, look, it's another you. Oh, that's a boy, Luna. Oh my gosh. Looks just like you, Luna. Just a little bit skinnier version. You want me to get his number for you? Yeah? Luna. This is why y'all need to move to Florida. Actually, no, don't move to Florida. We don't need any more transplants here. Actually, Florida sucks. Like, it's cold. It's freezing cold right now. Like, you wouldn't even believe me. But I'm just, yeah, it's cold. Luna, isn't it so cold outside? It's freezing. I need to get you a jacket. It's a really nice, cool 81 degrees Fahrenheit. There's another golden doodle, like you. It looks like Daisy. Look. This looks like Daisy. Is that Daisy? Is that Daisy? Aww.